Infested Planet Planetary Campaign. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of a very good developer. You've fought battles as a squad leader. Now become the general and win the war. With this expansion, Infested Planet gets a new procedural campaign mode. Each campaign is different with a randomly generated map and tech progression. You pick which battles to fight. Are your troops too exhausted to take on an alien army? Should you throw them in for one last push? You get to decide. Also expanding the game are new marine weapons, abilities, trickier alien enemies, and an upgraded battle generator, strategic campaign map, procedural tech progression, 3 new weapon classes and 3 new enemy types. Yes guys, it is a DLC. I think this may be the first ever DLC that I have reviewed. I might be wrong, I don't know, but why the hell not? It's $5.99 and it is for the amazing Infested Planet game, which I did review last year, I believe. Basically, for those who have no idea what this game is, it is a top-down strategy game which is a bit like Starship Troopers in the sense that you are fighting these aliens that are like creatures that just swarm at you. People have compared it to Creeper World 3 and Harvest Massive Attack and Massive Encounter, and the only similarity that it has with them games is that you are fighting shit tons of enemies, but this is so much better than them games. It is basically a wash with upgrades, not so much perks, but just upgrades really. What you do is you control a squad of Marines. This is just a brief outline of the game because I have done a review of it, but I'm just going to set you in the mood. You control a squad of Marines and you have to take over and win different maps, and the maps will have hives where enemies spawn from. Thousands, guys. Not tens, not hundreds, but thousands. You will kill thousands of enemies each game. It's just, the carnage is unprecedented, guys. And the aliens are just determined to kill you. They can't be bargained with. They can't be reasoned with. They can't be bought like YouTubers. And they absolutely will not stop ever until they get 9 out of 10. They're relentless, guys. They're relentless, and they mutate. As the battle goes on, they start mutating, and there are shit tons of mutations that they could turn into, ranging from counter-attacking you with speed, making hard shells that your bullets just bounce off, forming barricades, spitting at you, knocking you back as the spit hits you, firing poison, laying minefields. Guys, they will mutate to all kinds of horrible things. There's also different types of them. Some are big, some are small, and you have to adapt or you will die. And you adapt by finding and acquiring tech points on the map, and you can then buy upgrades and build them. You can build all manner of defenses, from machine guns to mortars to rockets. You can call in airstrikes, you can call in Marines now to drop behind enemy lines if you want. You can have medikits, you can have medical bays, you can teleport. I can't name them all. There is so many things that you can upgrade. All the weapons of each of your soldier, you start with a rifle, you can upgrade them to flamers, to miniguns, to shotguns, grenade launchers. You can have officers. The customization of each battle is just insane, and it is pretty easy to play as well. It's not a massively complicated game. Once you've done a few tutorials, you'll be well aware with it. The secret of the game is knowing what to use against certain enemies. You can switch on the fly with your weapons, so if you quickly need to get a flame down for some of the harder units, you can just buy, if you've got the money to buy that flamer. Everything costs money in this game. I'm not talking real money, I'm talking about the in-game BPs, which stand for you get them by taking over bases. There's also ammunition that you have, and the ammunition is, again, it's found on the map. It recharges over time. You have 10, but you can get a perk, I believe, that will increase the ammunition. And ammunition's vital because you use that to fire rockets, and you can use that to call in airstrikes and cluster bombs and all kinds of artillery on the enemy. So the campaign map, that's what's been added to this game through the DLC. And as you can see, there's whites and reds. The whites is the human player, the reds are the infestation, if you like. And obviously you've got to
take over the map. There's strongholds on the map represented by castles. They're your strongholds, and the enemy has strongholds which is like cracks. That's where their armies come from. So you have to take them down quick, or they'll just keep having new armies. And what happens is with this, you get 2 moves per turn, but as soon as you enter combat, it's your turn over. Now you can do a lot of things on your turn. You can fortify, which means if you've just taken over a new zone, you can put a fortification there, so that means the enemy can't just go and steal it off you. Although invader armies still can, but the regular armies can't. What they will do, they'll attack the fortification, and it'll be like an RNG dice throw between 1 and 5 to see how much damage it does. Now the fortifications have 5 life anyway, so you know the chances of it going down are very slim. But after a couple attacks by the enemy, it will fall, so you have to refortify it or take out the enemy army before it can attack again. So you have to watch things like that. Your units have morale as well, and if they start losing battles or losing men, that morale will go down. You don't want that to happen. So there's a lot to think about with this. You've got to really try to cut the enemy off from its strongholds and take down its strongholds, and what that will do, that'll allow you to open up new tech, and you get a procedurally generated map with procedurally generated mutations and procedurally generated upgrades for yourself as well, so no 2 games is the same. And with you also controlling the sizes of the map, that means you've got lots and lots of options for new games on this, so you're not going to get bored of this anytime soon. And if you look at the sheer amount of mutations the enemy can have and upgrades you can have, there is shit tons going on, guys. Absolutely loads going on this. So I'm really enjoying the DLC at the minute. I'm liking the strategy map. I'm liking the fact that I can control where to send my armies and what to attack and how to cut them off and which strongholds I'm going to go for and how to reinforce my units and what kind of things to give them. And it gives you a sense of achievement when you actually eventually defeat them. I found easy and normal too easy, but obviously I've been playing this game for a while, so you know I'm quite experienced at it. But if you haven't played it before, it's very easy to pick up. There's some good tutorials there, and you know once you've been playing it for a few hours, you'll be able to ramp the difficulty up, and there's loads of difficulty levels, so it doesn't matter how good or bad you are. There's like about 6, I think, different difficulty levels. It runs on pretty much anything, this game as well. It isn't high-end graphics or anything. It has an amazing soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks ever in a game. I absolutely love it. The game itself is just solid, compact. It is really good. It is total innovation. So if you're into a strategy game with massive battles and total carnage, great adrenaline rush, a great sense of willing your troops on when you're trying to find different hives and bring a hive down. The amount of times that I've been screaming at me screen, just pushing, go on lads, go on, do it, and you've had to just retreat at the last second because you're losing too many people. It's just insane. It's so much fun. It is so much fun, and I highly recommend it. Definitely worth a buy.